Can you see me and hear me? Because I just came online and I'm very shocked on the time frame this showing. Okay, I'll give you I'll give you a proof. Okay, it says 8:48 colon 56 colon 10. Okay, and I don't understand what it means, man. I think this my phone has gone crazy. You know. Okay. I don't know. I have to show this in the right angle. I think. Yeah. I got it. Okay, I got it. Do you see this? It says 8:48. I don't know. Maybe I should. Yeah, I should keep it like this. But I think it is in reverse, right? But you saw that, right? It says it. Man, I think this phone has gone crazy. 8:48 hours 57 minutes and 37 seconds. Are you kidding me? Okay, the thing is, first of all, don't take this very, very seriously. I'm actually doing an experiment, okay, with my own stuff, okay. I want to find out if there is a technical problem or something else is going on because my phone is acting crazy these days. I either need a new phone, okay, or I should think about something else. I was already making a video, okay, okay, let us forget about all these things. I see two viewers, so I hope that the internet connection is working right now. I was, it is making me whenever I see this, okay, 8:48 hours, 58 minutes and 23 seconds, it is making me laugh. But anyway, okay, I wanted to talk about these three things, which is spiritual enlightenment, liberation, and non duality. I can tell you one thing for sure, okay? These are three different things when it comes to how these words convey. These are three different words, okay? These are three different words. Rajiv, location, Tirupati. What is the meaning of letting go in spirituality? Okay, Al Masik Dajjal. Does non duality happens only in one's mind? If so, duality is created by mind, right? Okay. Non-duality does not happen in only in one's mind. Okay, it is also physical, because when I experienced non-duality, I had a physical difference. I have written about this in my lot of articles. Okay, I will give you one example. Okay, there is a difference between being alone and being with another person, right? If there is another person who is with you, you will literally feel the difference because there is another person with you. And if you are standing in a crowd, you'll be very, very self-conscious, right? Because you're standing in a crowd. Okay, this feeling almost disappeared. When I say almost disappeared, man, it often says reconnecting, and that is exactly what I hate about. Okay, I cannot stop and restart the video again and again. Okay, so the thing is, first of all, I don't have a way to prove that I am living in non-duality, and I am not. I don't even have to do either. But sometimes when there should be proper communication, I wish people at least understand my struggle in finding out the truth. Okay, because if I have written some books and if people are listening to me, if I have created some impact in the society, especially among spiritual speakers, which means I should have come across something, right? And this doesn't apply just to me. This applies even to Jaggi Vasudev. You can apply the same logic to him. In fact, he has tasted something in spirituality, but he has taken a completely wrong path to create stories based upon it. Okay, see, if you take a sandwich, okay, there is bread. In the middle of the sandwich, there is meat or vegetables, right? That is the important part of sandwich. Okay, but okay, if sandwich is offered to you without that meat, okay, see, the truth is, I am struggling to explain these things to you, because I really think that people are very very misled about spirituality. There are a lot of gurus out there. I am not claiming to be a guru, but I can make one claim. I am very very curious about spirituality. I've been walking on the path, and I've been documenting every single thing so far. And the spiritual path, in my experience, it is not always smooth. It is not always like, what do you call? I don't. First of all, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not really very fluent in English. Okay, so sometimes I struggle for finding a word. Okay, there is another comment. Non-duality is dangerous, radical idea. It is the virus defecting, affecting mind. Why do you think so? I don't really understand. Why? What is the reason? Honestly speaking, I don't understand. Okay, why do you think that non-dual? This is a comment from a person who is committing all the time. Okay, so why do you think that it is a dangerous idea? I mean, Kevo is commenting bad take. Can you please explain what it really means? Okay. Unless I get some clarification on your comments, I will continue with what I want to say. But there is a new comment. Okay, the same person. Okay, Almazi. I'll call you as Almazi. Okay, it will totally incapacitate you to interact with the world. Please, please give me some clarification. Okay, why do you? I mean, are you saying that non-duality is bad? And before you say that, please define non-duality. Because I can tell you one thing. Okay, non-duality is in my experience. So you might have different meanings about non-duality. Maybe I will let you know. Maybe just for the clarification, I will let you know what I experienced as non-duality. See, before 2014, okay, completely different. Before 2014, my experience of this world was completely different. I felt very, very small, okay, and totally disconnected from the rest of the existence. But what happened in 2014 destroyed all these differences. I have already mentioned again and again in my previous blog articles, videos, and even in my book. Okay, it destroyed the psychological differences between me and the existence. Right? There are a lot of books about non-duality. There are a lot of people who are talking about non-duality. There are a lot of theories about non-duality. But please don't get confused about all these books, theories, and people. Okay, because not everybody is speaking from their experience, but I am speaking from my experience. I am not be enlightened about everything. Okay, I am not. Maybe I'm not. It's okay. Let me put it in this way. Maybe I am not enlightened about everything. Maybe I'm not liberated about everything. But when it comes to non duality, there is no everything at all, okay? There is only one thing, that is non duality. Do you get my point? Okay. See, the topic of this video is there is a clear difference between the word enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment. In fact, the title of my book is Spiritual Enlightenment, and I chose that title because it is a very popular word. But even in that book, I use the word liberation more than enlightenment. If you observe it very, very carefully, it was intentional because I know because the word liberation appealed to me a lot. But what really happened is, if I have to choose one word, and I have said this before, it is non-duality. Okay, okay. If there is nothing to seek for a person who is feeling non-duality 24/7, okay, I hate these kind of questions because I think they are actually making a very they are understanding this as a theory, and they are understanding it as theoretical argument. I have already mentioned this before. You can say this for anything. Okay, if I talk, if I open my mouth, I have spoken about it. Okay, you are mistaking one thing. Okay, you are confusing between the absolute reality and the practical or relative reality. The it is the it is a consequence of reading so many books and reading so many so-called non-duality teachers. Okay, they argue the same way. Even if for example, it is like, for example, say anything. Okay, if I am a Advaita teacher, okay, just say anything. I'm hungry. Who is hungry? Who is that, which is feeling hungry? You can say whatever you want. You cannot even speak. And it is like, sometimes all these, I think, only those people who are influenced with half baked teachers of Advaita Vedanta will speak like that. It is not your fault. I am telling you, okay. You are ignoring the practical reality. Okay. So don't say who is asking that question, okay. So your question is what? If there is nothing to seek for a person on duality 24/7, what would they focus on? Okay, actually, that is a very interesting question. We have to find things to focus on. Okay, seeking. How old are you again? Because I don't think that you are asking these questions after experiencing certain things. Because you could be like 18-year-old guy who's curious about non-duality. I don't want to waste my time with you. Okay, because I'm assuming that people who are here have some kind of experience with spirituality. Okay, so if you are completely new to this, because your question is like this, okay, if there is nothing to seek for a person who's feeling non-duality for 24 hours, what would they focus on? First of all, I will tell you one thing, okay. It has been a struggle for myself, okay. After experiencing non-duality, I felt this lack of motivation about anything. But these kind of topics are for people who have already experienced non-duality. ஹலோ ரவி வம்சன் சொல்லுங்கண்ணா. நைட்டுக்கு ரூம் எது வேணும்? People are calling in the last minute for room. Okay, desire and fear is what is driving people to do things, right? No, not exactly. Okay, see, there is a difference between animals and human beings. Okay, animals animals are driven by desire and fear. Okay, let us forget about it. Okay, desire and fear is what is driving people to do things, right? Okay, yes, go ahead. What is your next question? Okay, you're expecting a reply, okay, to this question, right? Desire and fear is what is driving people to do things, right? Yes, I have already experienced on duality, but it is not 24/7. It comes at when I want. Okay. And what do you want to say next? But I don't want to be in the state 24 bar 7. Okay. Go ahead. I'm 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 reading your comments. Okay. See, first of all, you have to um, be very clear about why you're asking this question. Okay. I just want to say it, but please go ahead. Okay. Please go ahead. You said that you have already experienced non-duality, but it is not 24 bar 7. It comes at when I want. Okay. But I don't want to be in that state 24 bar 7. I need goal orientation life. I think you are completely mistaken about your own spiritual take, your own spiritual state, because what you describe sounds like what I was feeling in 2003. Okay, many people overestimate their spiritual growth, and if I tell them, okay, you're overestimating, they will not listen. They won't listen. Okay, so there is no use in convincing them. Okay, when they overestimate their spiritual growth, when they think that they have figured out what it is, nothing that I can talk will convince them. Okay, if I feel fulfilled, there won't be no purpose in life. It is true. Okay, it is true. Okay, it is true. So, so how did? Okay, let me ask you this question. Okay, because I'm very curious now. Okay, so you're saying one thing which is very very correct. Okay, yes, I know from my experience. I know that there is a struggle to find purpose in life after. Okay, let us just revisit your question. I think it is. I have to resolve this. Okay, I have already experienced non-duality, but it is not 24 bar 7. It comes at when I want, which means that you are in control of it. Okay, and this actually rings a bell at me. Okay, because okay, let us bring the first comment is very very important. Okay, I will read this again. I have already see, I'm not offending you, or I'm not belittling you. Okay, but let us be open minded. Okay, I am telling you and I am telling this myself. Okay, because I really want to understand what you try to say, because this is not about myself. This is not about you. This is about finding what is true. Are you following me? So your first comment is this, and I already have, it doesn't. I mean, I already have some. I already see something that is very very odd in the first comment. I have already experienced non-duality, but it is not 24 bar 7. When you said it is 24 bar 7, okay, that conveys something. But the second part is it comes at when I want. So it means that you are controlling a non-duality, and that seems to be completely unbelievable, because I can tell you one thing very honestly. Okay, no matter what you think about this, my non-duality is 24 bar 7. I cannot control it. I am always in non-duality. If you can, give me a secret. Okay, in fact, I think it is an interesting idea to come out of non-duality for some time, and then, let me be non-dual. Not I'm telling you very honestly. Okay, so I really want to make sure, if you are telling the truth, and if I find that to be true, I will be really surprised, because I thought that, for me, so far, non-duality has been 24 bar 7. And yes, yes, it is true that it has challenged, I mean, it has compromised this sense of motivation and purpose, because a lot of times I have struggled about it. Okay. ஹலோ, சொல்லுங்க. நாளைக்கு வரீங்களா? அப்படிங்களா? ஓகே ஓகே. பேச்சுலர்ஸா ஃபேமிலியாண்ணா? பேச்சுலர்ஸுங்களா? ஓகே ஓகே. சரி, நாளைக்கு வந்து ரூம் புக் ஆயிருக்கான்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. நான் வந்து 10 மெம்பர்ஸ்னால் வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து 4000 ஆகும் சரிங்களா ஒரு ரூமுக்கு. தனித்தனி ரூம் மாதிரி இருக்கும், ஒரு ஹால் மாதிரி இருக்கும். நான் ஃபோட்டோஸ் அனுப்பிச்சு நீங்கள் இல்லை ரூம் அவைலபிலிட்டி நான் வந்து செக் பண்ணி சொல்ல முடியும். 9 o'clock நீ நாளைக்கு தானே வரீங்க? எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு இல்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பட் நாளைக்கு நான் கன்ஃபார்மாக சொல்லிடுவேன். ஓகே, நீ அட்வான்ஸ் உடனே பே பண்ண வேண்டாம். நாளைக்கு காலை நான் வந்து ஒரு 9 o'clock கிட்ட நான் சொல்கிறேன் சரிங்களா? ஓகேங்களா? ம். நீங்கள் டீட்டெயில்ஸ் மட்டும் அனுப்பிச்சி விடுங்க, எத்தனை பேர் வரீங்க அதை மட்டும் அனுப்பிச்சி விடுங்க. நான் நாளைக்கு காலைல வந்து நான் ஃபோட்டோஸ் நான் அனுப்பிச்சி விடுவேன், ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. அந்த புக்கிங் மட்டும் கன்ஃபார்ம் ஆகிடுச்சா? எந்த எதுவும் அந்த ரூம்ஸ் இருக்கா? 2 ரூம் தான் இருக்குது. அந்த மாதிரி 10 பேர் ரெண்டே ரூம் தான் இருக்குது. ஸோ யாராவது புக் பண்ணிட்டாங்கன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. அனுப்பிச்சி நீங்கள் மெசேஜ் பண்ணி அனுப்புங்க. ஓகேவா? ஓகே ஓகே okay. So yeah, I don't want to go too much into it because I also want to finish the video. Okay, what is the time right now? 8:16. Okay. See, first of all, I'll tell you one thing. Okay. Um, See, I have met so many people like you. Okay. Uh, in the past 8 years, ever since I have published my book, so many people have contacted me. Okay. But I feel that not everyone knows how much they have progressed. Okay. So based upon what you're seeing, what you're saying, okay, I don't really think that you have actually experienced what I have seen. Okay, I am even doubtful that there is an absolute truth. Non-duality is when I don't separate myself from anyone and anything. But isn't that just a state like duality? Okay, I'm even doubtful that there is an absolute truth. Non duality is when I don't separate myself from anyone or anything. But isn't that just a state like duality? See, non duality is very much experiential. You can feel it actually. You can feel it very, 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 very true. See, I'm telling you one thing, okay? See, I am not a great person. I am not a saint. I am not enlightened. I'm not Ramana Maharishi. I'm not Osho. I'm not even Jaggi Vaste. But I can tell you one thing. I really feel non-duality 24/7. So I cannot answer your questions convincingly because sometimes you have to see it. Okay, you have to see it for yourself. For me, I will let you know. Okay, I will let you know something. I'm not a perfect guy. Okay, but one thing that I know is I'm very very careful. I analyze my non-duality is real. Okay, it is indeed possible to be uh, in the state of non-duality 24/7. Okay, in fact, there is no choice. After you fell into non-duality, you are in non-duality. You cannot be in duality for 2 hours and then switch to non-duality for another 2 hours. Okay, it is not possible. So I really don't know what you're talking about. Maybe what you can do is I want some details about your spiritual journey in the first place. What is your starting point? What kind of people you're listening to? How old are you? And what kind of experiences you have had? Okay, everything. Because sometimes people take this theoretically. I want to make sure that you're not taking this whole non-duality stuff as a theory, okay? Because it can be you can be anybody, right? You can be like 12-year old guy, 18-year-old person, okay? So I don't know anything about you, okay? So at this point, I can tell you one thing, okay? My experience is very very clear. That is exactly why I made this video. Maybe people are confused about these three things: Jnana, enlightenment; Moksha, freedom; non duality, Advaita. Only one thing that I know is this: I am in non duality. Moksha lasts forever. At what age? First of all, I have two comments actually. One says Moksha lasts forever. So, the thing is, one thing that you want to make sure is Okay, let me ask you this question, okay? Rather than judging your comment, okay, I will put you another question. Why do you think that moksha lasts forever? Please answer this question, okay? So, at what age did you take spirituality seriously? Okay, when it comes to spirituality, okay, um, I took it seriously even from a very young age, okay? Like whenever I started reading books, which was when I was like 8 years old. But I really became a spiritual seeker. Okay, the connection went bad, okay. Yes, I was serious about spirituality ever since I started reading spiritual books. I was serious about it because I have to. I mean, I'm just answering your question, right? I was serious about spirituality ever since I was like 9 years old, 8 to 9 years old. Okay, but I would say that I became a spiritual seeker, a true spiritual seeker, when I was 17 years old. Because to become a true spiritual seeker, first of all, you need to know what you're seeking. You're not seeking theoretical knowledge, okay? When I was very very young, I thought, okay, maybe if you're an expert in Vedas, Gita, you're a spiritual person. It is not like that, okay? You first, if somebody asks you, okay, what is kundalini, you can give a definition for them, okay? If somebody don't There are a lot of people who don't even know the meaning of the word kundalini. If you could give them the meaning of it, they will be impressed. Okay, this guy knows. Okay, what is Ashtanga Yoga? And let us say that you're old and you're answering the question. Ashtanga Yoga is the yoga which has 8 steps, and you're listing all these 8 steps. Many people will be impressed about your knowledge, but please aware of this. Okay, this is just theoretical knowledge. Okay, somebody is asking you, okay, how many Puranas there are there? You are answering the question. Okay, there are 18 Puranas, and somebody else is asking you, okay, what are the 3 important texts when it comes to Upanishads? Okay, when it comes to Advaita Vedanta school. Okay, and you're answering the questions. One is Upanishads, second is Brahma Sutras, and the third is Bhagavad Gita. These are theoretical questions. You can be expert at it. Okay, you may know a lot about spirituality, but this is just knowledge. These are just, like these are just that you have just learned by heart. Okay, but none of these things contributes to your spiritual growth because you have memorized these facts, okay? You know these things only in your memory. I may ask you all kinds of questions. For example, who wrote Ramayana? Who wrote Mahabharata? How many slokas are there in Ramayana? Please recite the sloka of 16th adhyata, 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the third sloka of 16th chapter. You might recite it, okay? You might know Sanskrit language by heart. You might answer your questions about Ashtanga Yoga, orthodox schools of Hinduism. Everything is theoretical. You learnt it from a book. That's it. None of it is in your experience. So I hope you know this difference, right? So I was very, very serious in spirituality, in learning all these concepts. But I I became a spiritual seeker, truly seeking what is really spiritual and understanding what I was seeking. This began when I was 18 years old. Okay. If there is no choice, how is it freedom and liberation? The thing is, you have to make your questions clear, okay? Because when I see all your questions, it looks like there is something that you don't understand, okay? That is what I would say, okay? Maybe there is some kind of lack of understanding that from. I love to answer your questions, but you have to, first of all, give me a narrative, okay? What is that you don't, what is the, first of all, I don't even understand the purpose of your questions right now, okay? Because you have been commenting a lot. I know you, okay? I know the person who is commenting. If there is no choice, how is it freedom and liberation? But I still don't understand your standpoint, okay? But I think there is something wrong. I mean, I am not here to offend you or anything like that, okay? But please, I have traveled in spiritual path for so long. I'm 41 years old. Okay. And I have done a lot of mistakes in my own spiritual journey, and still now I will not call myself as a perfect guy. And there have been many times when I got convinced that I have reached something profound. But the biggest difference that I went through is, I can tell you one thing, okay, apart from all these theoretical arguments, I can tell you one thing. There is something that happened in 2014 that changed my life upside down. And yes, like, in the I have tried my best to explain all these things, but I don't know how much you have, I mean, how long. First of all, I don't even know how long you have been following you. Okay, I think I have been only seeing your comments for the last 1 or 2 years, maybe 1 year. The experience of moksha reveals the how-to about reality itself. Once seen, it cannot be unseen. That is not moksha. I think you're talking about jnana. Okay, moksha is liberation. Okay, when you talking about seeing and see, there is a subtle difference between all these things. Okay, that is the main point of this question. So what do you mean by moksha? Kevo, okay, he's saying something. The experience of moksha reveals the how to about reality itself. Okay, there is a question. You said you have no choice but be in non-duality 24 bar 7. If you have no choice, okay, it's not like that. Okay, I mean, see this clearly proves that you're trying to understand it intellectually. Okay, you said you have no choice but be in non-duality 24 bars. It is like this. Okay, you're sleeping or you're peaceful. Okay, you are asleep right now. Okay, when you're asleep, you're very peaceful, right? Do you have any choice right now? You're sleeping, right? When you're sleeping, do you have any choice? You're sleeping, right? And see, this think about it makes me laugh. Okay, see, you're clearly analyzing intellect. I can tell you for sure. Okay, this one question is this one question is, oh my god, man! You said you have no choice. Well, how old are you? How old are you? Okay, I think you are. I am. Please be very honest. Okay, don't tell lie. Okay, how old? How? First of all, I want to tell. I want to ask you how old are you, because no matter who a person is, okay, it takes some kind of time, okay, to understand these questions, okay, because it really made me laugh. I'm being very honest to you. You said you have no choice but be in non-duality 24 bar 7. If you have no choice, how is it freedom and liberation? It is like you're stuck in, like, for example, if you're sleeping, you don't have any choice to be awake, right? You sleep, you have you do you have freedom when you're sleeping? Do you feel liberated when you're sleeping? You have bliss, you have